All right, this is the next installment here on instructions for the OneNote classroom. So the first thing you want to do before you can push this out to students is to make sure that it basically looks the way you want it to look. Now, the good news is that you can continue to update this and perfect it and add new things. I mean, that's the whole appeal of it, really, is that you can add stuff and push it out to kids easily. But it is a little bit time consuming to set it up the first time. I prefer to set up my content library so that it really is almost like a full book where things are already there for them. I may not use all of these articles and annotations that there are here in this section. I might just, have just a few to start with and build it up and maybe store the rest of these in the teacher only section for now. But when you're ready and everything looks the way you kind of want it to look, then to distribute these to the kids, you have a few different options. One thing you can do is you can distribute new sections to the kids. And so this is under class notebook, distribute new section, and if I click that, I can just distribute a new section to the students and I get to name it. So for example, I can name it My Independent Reading, just like my content library one. Yeah, and then you have some options about where you want to put it, but really that's not useful. So you want to make sure if you do it this way that it matches exactly what's here, and then you create. And if I were to go into student A's folder, now he has a My Independent Reading tab. Okay, and it's nice and empty and blank, but it also is going to have this untitled page in it, which is annoying, I find, but to each his own. Now, another way is to have the students download their notebooks first before you start distributing anything. So whether you set them up ahead of time like we did for student A and we push a bunch of empty tabs out, or you leave them empty like student B over here, his is completely empty, you're going to have to get it to the students anyway. Now the good news is that you don't actually have to do anything to get it to the kids. It's already there. It's in their email, which is where they'll have to go to retrieve it. So usually I do this on a day that maybe the kids are working on something else and I just move around the room and help each of the kids go, or I maybe get them started by getting them to their email. But there's just a lot of clicking that it takes. A lot of it's just, yes, yes, I approve. Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. So you have to just go through all of these steps to push it through. So let me show you from the email side now what it would look like. All right, so I had to do some careful searching so that my only emails were the ones that were related to what we were doing here. So let's say that you get to Office 365. This is where the kids would need to go first, and they would click on their Outlook. And when they open their Outlook, this is going to be their school email, of course. And then when you open it up, of course, theirs will have everything here. Mine is carefully curated to protect student info or what have you. But here at the top is the email that's going to say Garland Rebecca shared. And so it'll say your name shared, whatever the name of the notebook is. And when you click on it, it looks like this over here. It says, here's the document, blah, blah, blah. And there's a box that says open. So the kids will go to Office 365. They'll open their Outlook. They'll find the email from you. And then they'll click on open. And when it does, it's going to open the same notebook, the one we just created. It will open it up in their online OneNote. And you can see this looks very different than the other one that we've been working in. I really dislike this one. I don't like it at all. It doesn't have the same features. It doesn't have the same menu options. It's really just kind of a backup if something is going wrong. So after we get the kids to open this, so we open it in the online version, I say, okay, next, you're going to click on Open in OneNote. And it's a button right here, Open in OneNote. And again, this is all the little clicking. Yes, Open in OneNote 2016. And it will push through, and it may have to load. It may give you a couple of extra this. Sometimes you have to sign in because it's linking to their account. So don't be surprised if you see a bunch of extra little steps there. But eventually it will set up here. And the final step that I tell the kids to do is go down to, once it pushes through, to go down to the purple N at the bottom and to right click on the purple N and to pin. There'll be a choice right here that says pin to taskbar. I have them pin it to the taskbar so that every day, if you close it, you can immediately it's already pinned. It's right here. You just open it. And so every day when they come into class, sometimes it'll clean itself up. But when they come into class, it will immediately open and then boom, they're ready to go right there, just like that. And if they have to go to another class, they have a forensics class, let's say, that also has a OneNote, all they have to do is toggle between their notebooks right here, just like I've been doing. So once you get everybody set up, it's pretty straightforward. Everyone now has their notebook. But what the students will see is they'll see the collaboration space, they'll see the content library, and they will see their own folder. Let's say this is student A signing in. So student A, I will have instructions here, just like I do on this one, click on the tab with your name. And so they would click on the tab with their name, which we'll go back to this one to show them. So here's student A. So there's nothing here for them to do yet. It's going to be empty. So you now have a couple of choices of what to do. One choice is for you, if you've already pushed out all the different tab headings that are empty tabs, you can push out all of the documents. But what a lot of people do, or what I tend to do, is I have the students, or I do it for them, depending on how many meetings I have to sit through that week, go in and get their own stuff out of the content library. Because if you just go to the content library, here's everything ready to go. You can just right click on it, have the kid click on move or copy, or like I said, sometimes I'll just sit and do this and it's tedious, but also not too bad. And then you go down to student A and just click on student A and you just copy it. And then you go to articles and annotations, move or copy, student A, copy. Units and menus, move or copy, student A, copy. And if I were to go back to student A, all of those are now here, ready to go. The other option is if I have everybody has a empty folder, like this empty folder, and let's say they have all 5 or 6 empty folders that I've created, I then can go into Content Library myself, and I go into My Independent Reading, and let's say I want them to really have the reading list, so I go to the Class Notebook Added menu up here, and it's lagging, there it is, and I can just distribute this page. And it's going to say, where do you want it? I'm going to say, oh, I want it My Independent Reading. And boom, it just went out. And then I'm going to send out this one, distribute page. And I can send it out again to My Independent Reading. So now if I go back to student A, in My Independent Reading, see there's the reading list, there's the critical reading. Those are the ones I just sent out, but at the top of every one is this untitled page. I haven't found a way to get rid of that other than just deleting it once we get in the folders. So either way, it's going to take a little bit of work. I like to set them up because then in one move, the copy and paste and everything is there ready to go. And it just requires either me to sit and do it for every one of my kids or for the kids to sit one day and just go to that content library, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, right click, move or copy. And they won't have the choices that you'll have. They'll only really see their name, copy, right click, move or copy, their name, copy. And pretty soon when they go into their own folder, everything will be there ready to go, just like that.